In today's episode, we're taking a look at 5 videos from this past year that you guys have enjoyed out there in the Coral Reef Talk community. So welcome to a very special episode of the Coral Reef Talk. Today, we're gonna watch together some of these episodes as a recap or a look back at last year. So the Coral Reef Talk is all about helping you become a more successful reef keeper, and I enjoy sharing my experience and my tricks and tips with you throughout the year. The first video we're going to take a look at is how to be successful with bubble tip anemones, and this is 5 easy tips for beginners. Today I share 5 tips with you on how to successfully keep bubble tip anemones. So how do you know when your tank is ready for an anemone? Well, tip number 5. Your reef tank or aquarium's parameters should be stable. Your water quality should be at a point that you can keep corals. Now, you don't want to add an anemone if you've just cycled your tank. You want to give it some time to balance out, get past that cycle, get to the point where you're adding some corals to your tank, or your water parameters are at a point that you can keep corals. Now be sure to watch all the way through to the end of the video because I have a bonus tip that I want to share with you. Anemones need good, strong lighting for you to be successful, and that brings us to tip number 4. Now, most reef aquarium lightings on the market today are fully capable of keeping anemones. So you can be successful with T5s all the way up to LED lights. The main point being, if you have lighting that can keep coral alive and thriving, then an anemone will be just fine. So once your tank parameters are stable and you have the right aquarium lighting for your anemone, the next thing to do is to pick out an anemone for your reef aquarium. Anemones have an oral disc or a mouth that they use to eat their prey. Now, you don't want to see that mouth gaping wide open. Rather, you want that mouth to be closed and tight. Now, you also want to take a look at the foot of the anemone and take a close look because you want to make sure there's no tearing or rips in the foot, because that's what it uses to attach to the different substrates into the crevices of the rock. The foot is very important because that's what the anemone uses to hold itself in place. Tip number 2, once you have your bubble tip anemone acclimated and you're placing him in your reef tank or aquarium, be prepared for him to move. Anemones can move around the tank, and they'll move around until they pick a place that they like. A place that they can anchor their foot in, such as a crevice in your rockwork, a cave, somewhere that they can safely place their foot that they feel comfortable. So when you place them in your reef tank or aquarium, be prepared for them to move because they can walk around and they're gonna pick a spot in your reef aquarium that they like. And with that, that brings us to tip number 1, is that bubble tip anemones love high water flow. They love to move and sway in the current, and it's awesome to see this movement in your reef tank. And it's one thing outside of them being able to host clownfish that makes them attractive in the hobby is the movement and, well, the overall motion that they give in your reef aquarium. Now, I promised a bonus tip, and the bonus tip for keeping anemones successfully in your reef tank is feeding your anemone. Now, you can feed your anemone and they will grow and multiply in your tank. You can feed them meaty food once a week or so. However, it's not really necessary. If you have other fish in your reef aquarium, broadcasting your tank and feeding your tank is enough to sustain the anemone because they love that high intense lighting, and the lighting helps them grow and thrive as well. So you don't necessarily have to feed them. You can, you just want to be careful, and you don't want to overfeed them. If you see them pushing anything out of their mouth, then you've overfed. So bonus tip is you can feed your anemone, but you don't really have to. You can just broadcast feed your tank and they'll be just fine. So there you have it. There's my 5 tips on being successful when keeping bubble tip anemones. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know if you already have bubble tip anemones and if there's any other tips that you would leave for a beginner in the hobby, or maybe you've been in the hobby for a long time. And let me know in the comments below if you love anemones and what you're doing to keep your anemone thriving in your reef tank. That video was a lot of fun to film, and just to reiterate, bubble tip anemones or anemones in general can move around your tank, so just be aware of that whenever you're looking to get an anemone. I had one move across the tank on me recently, and that's going to be a new video coming out later this year. Now, continuing right along with the theme of this video, we're going to take a look at my top 5 reef aquarium deals in just a moment, because I love sharing product reviews on this channel as well, because that helps you make a decision when you're out there looking for the right accessory or the product for your reef aquarium. I like to share products that I use and love, and I know they work, and I know that they're going to help you. So let's take a look at this video. Now, when it comes to keeping and maintaining a thriving reef aquarium, of course you need products and equipment to help you do that. And while you can find some great deals at your local fish store and even the big aquarium retailers online, a place that may get overlooked is Amazon. And with Amazon Prime Day coming up, or maybe it's already happened or it's past, depending on when you watch this video, there are some great deals to be had on Amazon. So today I'm sharing with you a list of products that I purchased from Amazon, starting with number 1, and that would be salt mixes. Now, there's a variety of different brands that you can purchase from Amazon, and Brightwell Aquatics has their Neo Marine salt, which is what I'm currently using. But for years I used Instant Ocean Reef Crystals, which is a great product that you can find on Amazon. And you can take a look at the prices right here. It's very affordable. Your salt mix is essential to your reef aquarium because you need salt for your reef tank. So salt mixes, great item or product to find on Amazon. Now, if you like any of the products that you hear about today, I will be leaving Amazon affiliate links down in the description below for you to check out. And if you click on those links, I make a small commission off of the sale of the product. So that's a great way to help support the Coral Reef Talk. So check out the links in the description below. And now back to the video. Now, speaking of salt mixes and keeping a saltwater tank, you need to know just how salty the water is. So the next product is a refractometer. This is how we test our salinity or specific gravity of the water so that we know how salty it is. Now, you can find a great refractometer on Amazon at a great price. Just make sure you buy one that is specifically made for aquariums, like this one right here. And again, the link will be in the description below. Now, product number 3 is a product that I use all the time and I absolutely love it, and that is the Flipper Magnetic Cleaner. You can get the Flipper Float or the more traditional Flipper, and you can find those directly on Amazon. The Flipper allows you to easily clean your glass, and you can switch between the scrubby side or the blade side, and it's just a great overall product to have for your reef aquarium. Now, the next thing on the list would be bacterial products for your reef aquarium, and I purchased things like Dr. Tom's Waste Away or Nitrifying Bacteria, and even Brightwell Aquatics Microbacter Clean, and you can purchase all of those on Amazon. These products are a great way to give your bacteria a boost in your reef aquarium, because we all know that we need that beneficial bacteria to help break things down and keep our reef tanks going. Number 5 on the list is related to water quality. We want pristine water whenever we are maintaining reef aquariums, and so you got to maintain your RODI unit by replacing the filters, getting a new carbon block, a sediment filter, and some DI resin. You can find all of this on Amazon, and you can get it from brands that you trust like Aquatic Life USA. So you can get the 10-inch filters. They come in bundle packs, and you can purchase them directly on Amazon. And if you're purchasing on Amazon Prime Day, or if you have Amazon Prime, there's deals happening around these products all the time. Now, I got a couple bonus products for you as well that are very beneficial to maintaining a reef tank or even keeping a reef tank, and that would be lighting and pumps. You can find great deals on Amazon with reef aquarium lighting, and you can find some great lights like the Aquatic Life and HM Electronics Core X Pro lights that I have over my tank. You can also find lights like the Relatable LED lights. There's plenty of LED options on Amazon that are not going to break the bank, and they're budget friendly, and you can keep a nice successful reef aquarium with these lights. And the same thing goes for pumps too. You can get a circulation pump, a return pump, a utility pump at a much more affordable price. And again, I have the affiliate links down in the description below. So if anything catches your eye or if anything is interesting to you, then go ahead and click the links in the description. It'll take you right to that product and you can research if it's the right fit for you. Now, if you're getting value out of today's video, please smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe if you're enjoying the content. And also with those products, the links will be in the description below. And remember, it supports the channel clicking on those Amazon affiliate links because the Coral Reef Talk makes a small commission on the sale on qualified purchases. Okay, so next up on the list, we're gonna run these two videos back to back because we're taking a look at the top 5 soft corals and my top 5 LPS corals. In today's video, we take a look at the top 5 soft corals that are beautiful and easy for first-time reef hobbyists. Now, if you're new to the reef hobby and your tank is finally ready for coral, then soft coral can be a great place to start because they're more forgiving to parameter swings and soft corals offer a wide variety of color for your reef tank. Now, the first coral on the list is the Kenya tree coral. Now, this coral is a fast-growing coral and it adds a lot of motion to your reef tank. The Kenya tree coral grows by budding off, so it sends a little bud across your aquarium and it will attach to the different substrates and surfaces in your aquarium like the rockwork and then start to grow from there until you see a beautiful forest of Kenya trees. Just keep in mind that the Kenya tree does grow very fast and spread across your aquarium, so you want to keep an eye on it, and if you need to, prune some of this coral back because it can take over. Number 2 is the green star polyp. Now, the green star polyp with its nice purple base and green star-shaped polyps is very attractive for your reef aquarium, and it's another fast-growing coral. Now, with green star polyps, you can put these about midway in your tank, even up to the top part of your rockwork. It does really well in either scenario, even low down near the sand bed. If you want to, you can isolate it to a single rock so it doesn't get out of hand, because this thing can grow and overtake corals next to it, and it just keeps growing and growing and growing. Now, what I really like about the green star polyp is the way that it looks in your reef aquarium. It adds a lot of motion to your reef tank depending on where you put it. It does well in a variety of different flows, and it's very versatile because a lot of hobbyists like to put it on the back wall of their aquarium and let it completely take over that space. If you don't have a sand bed, you can let it grow out on the bottom of your tank and create like a grassy area all over your reef. But the green of the green star polyps definitely pops in your reef aquarium, so if you're looking for a section to pop with some color, green star polyp is the way to go. Now, if you're enjoying the video, please hit that like button, and if you're new here, go ahead and consider hitting that subscribe button and check the description below because I have some special things in there just for you, like a 30-day Audible trial and some other links that'll help you with aquarium gear. So go check those out in the description below. Number 3 on the list are mushroom corals. Now, mushroom corals come in a variety of different colors: red, green, blue, multicolors, and there's a lot of mushrooms that are very easy to keep. Majority of mushrooms are. You have Rhodactis, you have Ricordia mushrooms, you have Discosoma mushrooms, but Rhodactis corals would be on the easier side. That's what I started with. I picked up some red and green ones over 10 years ago, and I still have those with me today. So they're pretty hardy corals. You can keep them low on the sand bed, slowly acclimate them up on your rockwork, and they grow and do well in a variety of different lighting, and they can handle many of your beginner parameter swings as you're still trying to figure things out. Now, mushrooms are some of the easiest to propagate, so if you dabble in that a little bit, you can cut them right in half with our mouth, split them in two, and they will heal over time and form 2 mushrooms. Or if you just naturally let them grow, they'll leave their foot behind and split and multiply, and you'll start seeing baby mushrooms scattered throughout. Number 4 on the list are toadstool leather corals. Now, this is easily my favorite soft coral because I've had one with me for 10 years that I originally purchased when it was about the size of a quarter, and now it's the size of a dinner plate. Now, toadstool corals are extremely hardy and they do well in a variety of different places in your reef tank. They do tend to like a little bit higher lighting and a little bit more water flow because as they grow, they like to shed a coat of their skin that they slime over and they shed. So you need that water flow to help constantly push that slime coat off of them so they can continue to grow. As they grow and shed, they may look ugly for a few days, up to a week. Completely fine, this happens to them, but when they bounce back, they look even more beautiful. Now, there is quite the variety of leather corals, specifically toadstool leather corals in the Reef Aquarium hobby. You have some with purple polyps, and like this one here that has a green polyp. You have the Japanese blue polyp leather. There's the weeping willow that has long polyps. So there's a wide variety of toadstools for you to choose from. They're great for your reef tank. They add some motion to your aquarium, and they also attract fish like clownfish that may decide to live in them. Now, number 5 on the list is zoanthids. Now, zoanthids are a great addition to any reef aquarium because they handle a variety of parameters and they also do well in a variety of different lighting and levels within your reef tank. You can put them on the sand bed and you can slowly acclimate them up the rockwork until they're midway or even high up on the rockwork, and they do really, really well. Now, some zoanthids grow a lot faster than others and some just like to take their time. But a really cool thing with zoanthids is that you're able to add a ton of color to your reef tank. So if you're first starting out and you don't know how to get color in your reef tank, zoanthids are great for that because there's just so many different color morphs out there for you to choose from. Now, zoanthids can contain palytoxins, so make sure you do your research on that. Those can be harmful to humans, especially children and other animals like dogs. So that's only when they really get upset in the reef aquarium, or if you're handling them, you want to be cautious with that. But overall, majority of zoanthids are going to be just fine for you. Okay, question of the day. If you are a seasoned reef hobbyist, then let us know in the comments below what soft corals you think should be added to this list. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the top 5 LPS corals that I really like. These are some of my favorites. Let's jump right into it. All right, let's start things off with number 5, the chalice coral. Now, I love chalice corals because of the many different color patterns and the way that they grow. They can grow pretty large and grow outward and upward. Some encrust on the rockwork, and some large colonies out in the ocean can grow in the shape of a cup, resembling a chalice. The chalice coral likes medium water flow. You can place this coral in the bottom to the middle of your tank. I like to place them on the rockwork similar to like a monopora and watch it encrust and grow out and upward from there. The chalice coral likes low to moderate lighting, but it can adjust. Overall, it's just a great coral to have in a reef tank, in my opinion. Next on the list, coming in at number 4, we have the open brain coral. Trachyphelias, Welso brain corals. These corals I really love because of the size and the color. You can really get a showpiece type size in your aquarium. They're really, really fun to feed. The feeding response on these guys are surprising. They kind of let you know that they're hungry with their little tentacles sticking out, and then once you feed them, it's pretty awesome to watch. They enjoy lower lighting and they love to be placed on the sand bed. Coming in at number 3 is the Duncan coral. Now, this is an easy LPS coral, and the way that it grows is by branching off. So as it buds out a new polyp, it forms a branch. Now, these green and purple corals can be fed as well, and it's awesome to see them gobble up some mysis shrimp like I'm feeding right here. This is also a very peaceful coral that can be placed in the bottom to middle of your reef tank, and they really like lower water flow.
The Duncan coral is native to Australian waters, and it's great for beginners looking to add LPS corals to their reef tank. Now, coming in at number 2 on the list is the bubble coral. Now, I had a bubble coral for quite a while, and it was one of my favorite things to look at in the tank. This LPS coral is very delicate though, because the polyps can be easily damaged, so be very careful when placing this one in your tank. You want to do the best that you can to handle it from underneath at the base of the skeleton, because you don't want any of the flesh of these polyps to pop or get damaged when you're putting it in your reef tank. The bubble coral is unique, and when the polyps are inflated, it transforms into a large bubbly coral. This coral enjoys low water flow and can be very aggressive. Bubble coral has really long sweeper tentacles that can sting nearby corals. Now, my number 1 favorite LPS coral has got to be the frog spawn coral. This was the very first LPS coral that I ever purchased when I started my reef aquarium journey, and I just love the purple and greens and just how much motion it can add to your aquarium when the polyps are fully extended. The way it sways in the current, it's pretty awesome coral. Now, frog spawn can be placed low to middle in the reef tank with moderate lighting. This coral can also be aggressive because it has sweeper tentacles just like the bubble coral that come out usually when the tank lights are going off, and it can sting neighboring corals. Now, it's a part of the Euphyllia family like hammer corals and torch corals, which are among some of my favorites as well, and it makes a great addition to any reef tank.
And a lot of times if you're getting into stony corals, LPS is a great place to start. So I really enjoy all of those corals. If you can think of a soft coral or an LPS coral that you're looking for, or maybe one that you have that's easy to care for that you enjoy, leave that in the comments below. Okay, so for the next video in the marathon, I wanted to leave you with a video that kind of helps set up 3 big ways to help you succeed before you ever get started in the aquarium hobby. So maybe you're looking at setting up a different style of tank, or you're setting up a tank for the first time. Really, this video is about the concepts behind helping you be successful. So you're new to reef aquariums and you're thinking about jumping in and starting your very own reef tank. And there's so much information out there, you just don't know where to begin. Well, in this video, I share 3 big ideas or ways that you can have success before you ever get started. Hi there, my name is Joey and welcome to the Coral Reef Talk, where it is my goal to help you become a successful reef hobbyist by breaking down the reef aquarium hobby and making it more relatable. So if you want to set yourself up for success before you even start a reef aquarium, you have to start with a goal. You want to start with the end in mind. Do you want to have a fish-only aquarium? Do you want to have a coral reef tank where you grow coral? Do you want to have a mixed reef, an SPS-dominated reef tank, an LPS-dominated reef tank? What does any of that mean? Well, start with a goal. Now, it's likely that you've seen someone's aquarium either online, on YouTube, in a blog post, or even in person at your local aquarium, and you thought to yourself, hey, I can do that, or I would like to do that. And you want to start with a goal because you want to know what you're trying to achieve. And then the next thing is how to get there. You want to set up a plan. Now, having a plan is pretty straightforward. You want to jump in and learn everything that you can to help you achieve your goal. So that includes hours of research and time online, looking at topics centered around your goal. So whatever your goal is, whatever you're looking to achieve in the reef aquarium hobby, have a plan that helps you reach your goal. The third thing is to have a budget. If you zero in on your goal and you develop a plan, you can focus on saving your money and creating a budget. Now, I get asked all the time, isn't having a reef aquarium very expensive? Well, that depends on your goal, your plan, and your budget. Now, there are plenty of ways to start in this hobby, and it doesn't always have to be with the latest and greatest. My very first reef tank, or aquarium for that matter, was a 29-gallon tank that I bought off of Craigslist. What's great about this hobby is that you can continue to learn as you go. I mean, it's a journey, a marathon, and not a sprint. Now, my second aquarium was a 75-gallon tank that I also got used, and I learned a lot from the 29-gallon tank, and I applied that to my upgrade with the 75-gallon, and that's when I really started to achieve success with corals. So if you want to jumpstart your way to success before you even start a reef aquarium, then have a goal, make a plan, and create a budget. Now, with the new year finally here, the Coral Reef Talk is going to be posting a lot more content, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel so that you don't miss a thing. I'm really excited for what this next year holds, and I can't wait to start sharing all of the videos and ideas that I have and plans for the Coral Reef Talk for the future. So again, make sure you are subscribed. Let me know in the comments below some of the goals that you have for your reef tank throughout this next year and some of the plans that you have, some changes, some upgrades, some downgrades. Let me know what you got going on with your reef aquarium in the comment section below. And if you want to see how I defeated cloudy water in my reef aquarium, click on this video over here, or maybe this video is more your speed. Thank you so much for watching. Have a happy new year, and I'll see you next time on the Coral Reef Talk.